Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, I want to talk about true intentions, which is facing something, versus escapism, which is avoiding. Intentions and escapism, in my opinion, are in the same sphere of existence, right? When you escape from something, right? When you're trying to get away from something, when you're avoiding it, it's not going away. It's just adding up and accumulating and making its own energies and creating its own little world, like an unkept garden. You walk away and come back and it's fully flourished, weeds and all. That to me is avoiding. That is the escapism of not wanting to deal with emotions or deal with thoughts. Because again, they're going to be there, and if you don't deal with them, they're going to just transpire into something else or transform into something else. Intentions is recognizing that, or true intentions is recognizing that you know that there's things you don't want to deal with, but you have to deal with them anyways. You don't have to relive it. You don't have to go back into it fully integrated the way you were, but recognizing that I had an intention on why I did what I did. So let's say you decide to just cut someone off, right? That would seem like escapism, but if your intention is just to cut them off because they gave you the ick and that's all that matters and you don't need a resolution and you just walk away, that's going to be escapism. It's just going to keep revolving. It's just going to keep happening. But if you cut this person off and you tell yourself intentionally, I'm cutting this person off because I'm trying to preserve my health emotionally and spiritually. I feel drained. I feel like they don't listen. I feel like they take over all energy that is concerning to others and makes it about them. Now it has an intention behind it. Now it's not escapism, because now you're saying, here's why. Just like us, the human flesh likes to have an answer, so does spirit. Spirit is our essence, right? The soul is our consciousness, past lives of who we were. And then we have this ego that's trained to believe whatever it is, it is. That's how I look at it. That's what I believe. Other people can have their own beliefs. When I understand that each element of me has its own intention to do something, and it has its own level of escapism, finding the middle is what this spiritual journey is about. Knowing that you understand that when something is not easy to deal with, it's okay to say, I don't know how to deal with this, spirit or universe right now, so I'm just going to throw my hands up and walk away from it. Sometimes that will resolve it. Sometimes it will go away and it's no longer an issue. But when the energy comes back up in you spiritually, because this is where memories come in and we start creating shame and things around situations that happen because we didn't provide closure to ourselves, or we didn't truly acknowledge our true intentions in that situation, then it goes left open. And that's where open cycles, when we talk about cycles, completing cycles. It is my opinion. Again, I said it's like a video game. In another video, I talked about if I make it 1 through 9, if I beat these levels, I'm not going back to complete these levels because somebody else I know or get along with is in those levels and they want me to come kick it with them. No, I'm going to wait for other energies who are on level 9 ready to go to level 10. And then we can go to level 10 together and keep working on ourselves together and working on energy together. Because as life goes on, I see a lot of creators where it's a very dangerous, slippery slope depending on where you are emotionally in this game. So if you're telling people life has no purpose, life is just to be here and just to exist, that's fine. That's true on one level. We all get to choose to be an NPC. If you choose to not interact, not do anything, just live your life, wake up, do whatever you want to do, get married, have kids, buy a house, settle down, that's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. But every single person that I've met, what they call midlife crisis, they move past this physical energy of a human and they go to the spiritual. I feel empty. I feel like there's more I should be doing. I don't feel happy. I don't feel like this is enough. And then they start picking apart their beautiful life because emotionally and spiritually, they never actually gave true intentions to why they wanted the things they wanted. They just used it as a type of escapism to say, well, everyone else around me is doing it, so if I get this life and this house and these kids and this person, then I'm set. That's not how this works. Because what is your intention for having those kids in that house? Did you want to build a legacy? Did you want to create a space for them that they don't have to struggle the way you did? So now you have a purpose for why you're doing this? Like, don't just do it just because everyone else is doing it. Know why you're doing it. Because if you're doing it just because everyone else is doing it, that's a level of escapism too, right? If you're just conforming just to conform, that's escapism, because you're like, well, I don't want to deal with the responsibilities of thinking this through. And since everyone else is doing it, I may as well just jump on the bandwagon. That's a choice. This is where purpose comes in. And now I've seen a few creators on the spiritual TikTok saying, there's no purpose. You haven't found your purpose. That's why there's no purpose. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but it's the truth. We have function. That's the human existence. We are here to function. We don't have to do anything else except function. But once you have a spiritual awakening, now you have purpose. And your purpose is like, there is more than just existing just to exist. It's a beautiful existence to be able to do so without hindrance. But that's not our spiritual purpose here. That's our physical purpose here, to just exist and have this thing that we want to experience and do it in a leisurely way or whatever. Right now, it's a lot of strife and struggle because people are not paying attention to how they're not respecting their soul purpose. They're choosing to go against their soul purpose because their emotional ego was stuck in some level of trauma or strife. And now they're trying to appease that. And when your soul gets stuck in a loophole of escapism, it never sees its true intentions on how to grow past that into its higher self. Because I do not believe the soul is our higher self. I believe the soul is our past consciousness of experience that we've had and that we've gained through our ancestors, through our parents, through our uncles and aunts, and everyone else who came before us. That's soul memory. Spirit is up there with the higher self. You can call spirit or higher self, to me, they're interchangeable, but that's where you're understanding that beyond my flesh, beyond my soul, there's still something that drives me, that is a frequency that turns me in and turns me on and tunes me in. As soon as I hear it, I get happy. For me, mine is joy. For other people, it might be something else. I don't want to list off a bunch of different emotions because there's a ton of them. But for me, my primary focus when I wake up every day is joy. And I don't force it. I am just a happy person in general. But yes, I can get frustrated if I start going into escapism too much, of trying to overly be happy for other people versus just being happy for myself. When I recognize that I'm doing it too much for others, I can come back to myself. Now I am doing intention work, and now I'm making something that could become escapism intentional, where I'm saying, I just like to share because it brings me joy. All of this brings me joy. I love to talk. I have something to say. I've had things I've experienced. And the thing I've learned growing up is that a lot of people don't get guidance. Not even just someone telling them advice, just simple guidance. Like advice is saying, here's what you need to do. Guidance is like, go over there and it will be much easier. It's much shadier. You'll be more comfortable. That's all that I have intention in when I create and when I speak to you guys. So I hope it resonates. I hope it makes sense. Just again, focus on what your true intentions are versus letting them become escapism and becoming something else. All right? Love ya.